But hey, what a perfect distraction for the Biden crime family. When we're talking about the Bidens, let's forget the Bidens and let's talk about this. Trump moving some boxes. Yeah. You see him in the dead of night, slipping through the halls of the hallowed White House. And there he goes with his hoodie on, and he's slipping through the dead of night. The winter whispers are whipping against the very columns of this stately home of freedom. And there goes the dark masked crusader bringing the boxes. That's his crime, moving boxes. Oh, and it gets worse, ladies and gentlemen. It gets worse. Not only is he moving boxes, but ladies and gentlemen, finally on the audio tape, are you ready? Here's what they have. He was rustling papers. They heard the papers rustling. Oh yes, they knew that those papers were top secret clearance. Top secret knowledge was being wrestled in the midst of Mar-a-Lago's secret conclave of the high priest of the MAGA movement. Rustling papers he was. Moving boxes. Now, Biden is over there moving money from China to all of his family, but Trump is moving boxes and rustling paper. Roar 24, because what they've got is nothing. These leaks is the new army that has been created. CNN has never listened to one of these recordings. No one has, but they have talked to sources. And since there's no accountability when it's over with, it doesn't matter what you say now on the news. Nobody's going to hold you to account. So just destroy the base. Just keep lying, destroying the base. According to them and General Milley, they were worried that Trump was unhinged. The only man that's had no wars in his administration, they were concerned that he was unhinged and going to destroy Iran. Can you imagine if Hunter Biden was a Republican? Could you just imagine if he was a Republican? What would happen to Hunter Biden? I want to show you the reporting, the sloppy reporting that CNN did on their look. They have an exclusive story. Look at it. Trump captured on tape talking about classified information that he kept after leaving the White House. Boy, what a joke. Let's read. I want to read you one line down here where this article proves that Trump is innocent. Let me show you how Professor Toto reads the news. Many people read this and they see it one way, but I saw a little something that if I was his lawyer, I would use that in a courtroom to prove his innocence, okay? Let's see if we can find that line. So this is about a meeting in Bedminster, New Jersey, with Mark Meadows and General Milley. They were all concerned. Now, Meadows' autobiography includes an account of what appears to be a meeting during which Trump recalls a 4-page report typed up by Mark Milley himself. Now, what this is all about is Mark Milley went on an interview that he was worried that Trump was going to be unhinged and makes illegal military orders concerning Iran. He was unhinged about it. he said that he stopped Trump from doing that. Well, now Trump is in a meeting telling the journalist, hey, that's not true. He's telling the journalist that he's got a 4-page report typed up by Mark Milley himself, and that it contains in that report the general's own plan to attack Iran. Now, the general is telling the world Donald Trump was trying to attack Iran and he was stopping him. Trump says, hey guys, I've got a report. It 4 pages that tells the truth about it. But now watch what he said. Here's where this article proves his innocence. Watch this. On the recording and in response to the story, Trump brings up the document which he says came from Milley. First of all, they assume that he's got that document in his hand. Okay? It's a total assumption. They've never heard this tape. There's no video of it. So notice how they're reporting that Trump brings up the document. Well, Trump definitely talks about the document, which he says came from Milley. But here is where it proves Trump's innocence. Trump told those in the room that if he could show it to people, that it would undermine what Milley was saying, the sources said. One source says that Trump refers to the document as if it's in front of him. And then the recording captures the sound of rustling papers. Boy, are they stupid or what? This is the big news. When he says, they tried to say that he showed the document to them, therefore breaking the law. But he plainly says, if I could, I would show this document to the whole world and prove what a liar Milley is. How many remember the class that I did months ago on FHTV entitled, We Know What Was in the Documents? The ones they raided at Mar-a-Lago. I told you exactly what was in those documents. I told you that Trump brought the evidence of the swamp. He just admitted it. He just said, I've got the document that proves the man is a liar. He declassified every one of those when he left the White House as the president, while he was still president. Anything he took with him was declassified. He alone is the declassification authority. And what I find funny about that, when I'm watching these news shows, and they're like, no, that's not how it works. Not one has ever shown one shred of evidence that that's not how it works. Nobody. I've watched them. That's my job. That's what I do. I watch them all. And, oh no, Trump says he can just declassify, but that's not how it works. Really? Show us. Present. Can you show us the process of declassification? Of course they can't, because there is none. There's constitutional authority granted to the head of state. He is the head of the executive branch. All power is vested in him for the execution of law. He alone holds within his very person the power to declassify. So here he took the evidence. Why do you think they invaded his home? They know he's got those letters that will prove Milley to be a liar. They know that he can prove his case, so they go and get the evidence. At least they think they did. Notice the wink. At least they think they got it all. But anyway, He was obeying the law by letting them know, I cannot show this to you. Okay, so how is this leaked audio? Really? Here's the problem, folks. Attorney General Mark Garland has a personal score to settle. Do you not remember when Merrick Garland was supposed to not be in the lowly position of the Attorney General? No. Does anybody remember the high position that Merrick Garland is supposed to have right now in his mind? He's supposed to be sitting on the what? Supreme Court. Who took that away from him? Who robbed him of that? Who stopped him? Who took it away from him? The Republicans. Ladies and gentlemen, he has a score to settle. And he is settling. He thinks he's settling it. He will not get the last word. Now, all of that rustling papers and moving boxes is a crime. But refusing a subpoena from the Congress is nobody reporting on. Let's report on rustling papers. Take your voodoo magic somewhere else, CNN. There's some of us that have eyes to see and ears to hear. We didn't wake up yesterday. We don't smoke good. We don't smoke weed from the time we wake up to the time we go to bed. We read. We don't weed. Somebody ought to write that down. That's from Professor Toto. We read. We don't weed, okay?